Hallo Leute, herzlich willkommen in unserer Daddy das deutsche Unterricht. Ich heiße Devlina Das, deine Deutschlehrerin. Today we study about the cases. But before we start, I would request you that if you have not seen the previous videos of my channel, then first go and see them because these videos are very much related and on related topics. And if you have not seen those, it will be difficult for you to understand this one. Also, please do subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends because each subscribe means a lot of motivation for me to make more videos. So, without wasting any more time, let's.
So, cases are generally of four types: Accusative, Nominative, Dative und Genitiv. In diesem Video, wir lernen nur drei Cases: Accusative, Nominativ und Dativ, aber nicht Genitiv. Weil Genitiv ein Großthema ist, deshalb diskutieren wir über es in anderen Video. Just now I said that in this video we will only learn about nominative, accusative and dative, but we'll discuss about genitive case in another video as it's itself a huge topic. So let's begin with these three cases. Now, what is nominative case? Nominative case deals with when we are talking about the subject in the sentence. Might be we are describing its position, function, nature, anything. Generally in this case there is no object generally. Only we talk about the subject. In the sentence, in these kind of sentences we find nominative case. Zum Beispiel, here you see, der Mann ist groß. This bedeutet, the man is big or tall or something like that, of a huge figure, I mean to say. Die Frau ist schön. The lady is beautiful. Das Buch ist hilfsbereit. This book is helpful. In all the three examples, I am describing the subject. Here, der Mann is the subject. Die Frau is the subject. Das Buch is the subject. In all the three sentences, I am describing whether the nature of the man or the nature of the lady or the book. Only talking about the subject. These sentences are called nominative cases. One thing you must keep in mind while writing any kind of sentence, like while describing something. Here, see, I have written, Die Frau ist schön. The lady is beautiful. In this case, I have kept the schön, the adjective, that is, it is the adjective of the lady, right? The beautiful lady. I have written the lady is beautiful, not the beautiful lady. If you want to write the beautiful lady, that is, if you want to place the adjective before the noun, then you have to follow adjective endungen. And that is a bit complex topic. Not complex, but you learn gradually. So, unless and until you don't know the adjective endings, try to keep the adjective always at the last, or I mean, don't try to place it before the noun. Like, if you want to, here I am telling the lady is beautiful. But if you want to tell the beautiful lady, then it would have been die schöne Frau, schöne, and A used to come here. Okay. So that's all about the nominative case. Let's come to accusative case. What is accusative case? Accusative case deals with the direct relationship between subject and object. Direct relationship. Zum Beispiel, ich sehe den Mann. Ich koche eine Pizza. Ich sehe den Mann. Here, ich is the subject. I see the man. Den Mann. Here, man is the object. I see what? I see the object. And here, you see, ich koche ein Pizza. I cook what? I cook a pizza. Here, the subject has a direct relationship with the object. Either he is doing something or seeing something, but it's direct. The verb is directly related with the object done by the subject. Hope that's clear. Now, some of you might have the question that why I have written here den. You know that man is masculine, so it should be der. Yes, it should be der, and now I have written it den because this is also due to these cases. This article changes along with the cases. I'll watch the video till the end. Therefore, you will get to know how these articles are changing. I'll explain this to you. We'll now come to the dative case. What is dative case? Dative case, here see I have written deals with indirect objects. What does this mean? Who deals with indirect object? In dative case, the subject deals with the indirect object. For example, ich koche dem Mann die Pizza. I cook the man the pizza. I mean, I am cooking the pizza for the man. So here I am the subject. Okay. And I am cooking what? I am cooking the pizza. Therefore, the pizza is the direct object. Like I am cooking what? I am cooking the pizza. Pizza is the direct object. I have a direct relationship with this pizza. But I am cooking it for whom? I am cooking it for the man. This is the indirect object that is coming in between. Like if you want to cross this out, we could also have said, I cook the pizza. Ich koche die Pizza. Like here I have said. Similarly, when I'm adding dem Mann, ich koche dem Mann die Pizza, I want to say I am cooking the pizza for the man. For whom? When I'm questioning with for whom, I'm getting the indirect object. These indirect objects, when is there in a sentence, it deals with the dative case. So here comes another example of dative case, that is, ich zeige den Kinder die Autos. I am showing the children the cars. I am showing what? I am showing the cars. So here I is the subject obviously, and I am showing what? The direct object is the cars, and I am showing it to whom? I am showing it to the children. Okay. Ich zeige den Kinder die Autos. Now why it is den, that I'll explain in my later parts, and also why it's die Auto instead of Autos instead of das Auto. It's die Autos because actually the article of autos is das, but here see, here it is autos, the plural form. That's why it's die. Okay, I'm explaining this. But before that, there's a small tip, like when you want to get accusative case, if you question it with what, that is, if you question the verb with what in the sentence, you'll get accusative case. But if you question the verb for whom, like I'm showing what? I'm showing the autos. Therefore, it's the accusative. And if I question with for whom or to whom or to like this kind of question, if you question with whom the verb, you'll get the dative case. Hope this is clear. Then comes, this is what I was talking to you, like why this article changes. According to cases like nominative case, accusative case, dative case, the masculine, feminine, neutrum und plural article changes. In masculine, it's der or ein. I mean, the unbestimmt or bestimmt article, these, in nominative case, doesn't change, remains the same. See, in all the cases, it remains same. Der or ein, die or eine, das or ein. And in case of only die, in case of plural, only die. No eine or ein present, because you, in case of plural, you don't say a cars. Not a cars is not present or not possible, sorry. A cars is not possible. Therefore, only bestimmte articles. No, only bestimmte article. No unbestimmte article present in this case. Okay. In case of nominative case, no article changes. They remain as it is. Okay. See, they remain as it is, as I have told you in my last video. Then come accusative case. In accusative case, it's den, einen. Der changes to den. Ein changes to einen. Die changes to die. Die doesn't change. Die remains as die. Eine remains as eine. Das as das. Ein as ein. And die as die. So what does here change? Here, the change is only in case of the masculine. Der changes to den and ein changes to einen. Okay. Then comes the dative case. In the dative case, the masculine, the der changes to dem, ein changes to einem. And in case of feminine, die changes to der, einer changes to einer. I have written the bestimmte and unbestimmte articles in one chart. If you want to write it separately, like one for bestimmte and one for unbestimmte, you can do that. That's completely up to you. Then here it's neutrum. Das changes to dem. Ein changes to einem. And die. See this one. This is quite interesting. In case of plural, this die, in always it's die changes to, in dative case, die changes to den plus noun plus n or en or s in all the cases, in most of the cases rather. So, and one thing you should keep in mind while speaking, your endings should be very much clear. Like you want to say einer or einer, it should be clear whether you are speaking einer or einer. Otherwise, marks will be deducted for these. Because a simple change of the alphabet, like if you are not placing here R or E instead, then the meaning changes. It will be proof to the examiner that you don't know the grammar. That's why while speaking, make sure your endings sounds clear. Okay? Now I would request you to pause the video and note this down because these are very important topics. I'm ending here. Hope you all have liked it, but yes, I know it's a quite tough chapter and also needs a lot of practice. If you want to if you want the notes or the practice materials of this chapter, then you can DM me there in Instagram. I am providing my Insta ID in the description box. Also, any kind of doubts or suggestion is always welcomed in the comment section. So if you have liked the video, then do subscribe, share, like, and share it with your friends so that they can also get a chance to see this. So I'll be back soon with new topics. Till then, bye.